We are good to start, right?
Yeah, we're
This
just
is recording
live
session.
only.
Let's kick it off. Kazi, you're the SAA for today?
Yes, I am SA. I'm just to go live.
You're already gone live, I think.
Yes, we are live on YouTube.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Welcome to you all on behalf of Showstoppers Toastmasters Club to the 73rd meeting. Before moving on, there are some rules and regulations which we should follow. First of all, please switch off your mobile phone and keep yourself muted unless it's your turn to speak. And please keep your video on. And there are some taboo topics which we should avoid, that is sex, religion, and politics. So there is a saying that to succeed in life, we all have our individual mission. Similarly, in Toastmasters, we have collectively our club mission, which says that we provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Today, we have got some exciting and very important education session for you. So without much ado, I would call our own very charismatic and dynamic president, Toastmaster Dinesh. Over to you, Toastmaster Dinesh.
Thank you, Kazi. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 73rd meeting of Showstoppers. Very, very excited to be there. Before I start my 3-minute spiel, may I request Kazi to enable sharing so that we could put up a presentation for the benefit of our guest. Before jumping into my meeting, I would love to hear from the several guests that have come here. The reason I say this is because it's these guests who take on several roles and share with us many, many things that make us a better thing. So I would like to now call on some of our guests. Do we have DTM Shaiju here, please? Okay. I think she'll probably join in a little while.
Yeah, she will be joining late.
I can see Dr. Gayatri there. Could you please introduce yourself? We would love to know a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dinesh. I'm here on the invitation of Toastmaster Amita. I believe we met last year around, I think, similar time when she had invited me to do a speech over here in Dubai. And after that, now I'm again here. It's an interesting club and I'm really looking forward. The last time was an interesting initiative when she had got people from different countries to do a speech. And now again, I'm listening to some interesting education sessions. I'm really looking forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming back, Toastmaster Gayatri. I'm sure we're going to have a lovely session. I'd like to move on to Toastmaster Sumit. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us where you're based and what club are you from?
Sure. Good evening to Toastmaster Dinesh and everyone. Happy to be here and sharing the time with Dubai and India together. It's 8 o'clock here, 8 p.m. Just finished my office and joined this Toastmaster session and willing to learn a lot of things. I'm from Kolkata Online Reverend Toastmasters Club, which was earlier League of Entrepreneur Toastmaster Club, and been invited by Toastmaster Amita here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate people coming from overseas, and the time difference of going to the work, coming back, really appreciated. I hope you have a lovely time. Talking about overseas, we got two lovely guests who are joining us all the way from Mali. Can I ask Toastmaster Afaf to please introduce herself.
My name is Afaf. I'm from Male Maldives Toastmaster Club, and I'm from Male. And I always looking forward to participate in this your club, because I also like that you have different people from different areas of the world. So that is what, and I'm also a life skills facilitator, and I'm looking forward more chances to join your club. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, we do have members that are based in many places: Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah. We have one in UK, Oman, India. So yes, it's lovely. It's lovely to have you. Could I also request Toastmaster Tatumila to please introduce herself? Toastmaster Tatumila, are you there? Okay, we'll probably wait. Maybe she just lost connection or wherever, so we'll wait for her to come back. Meantime, give me a few minutes to share with you what Showstoppers is all about. I shall share a presentation. So Showstoppers Toastmasters Club. This is our 73rd meeting and I welcome you all. We've been through the Sergeant in Arms speech, we've been through the club mission. We've actually added a new addition here, having been doing a lot of virtual meetings. Considering the fact that a lot of people come from work and try to join meetings, we strongly emphasize people who are running late and driving, please do not text or talk for this Toastmaster meeting. We do strongly encourage park your cars.
Hi, good evening. I'm Tahmula.
Hello, how are you?
I'm from Male Maldives.
Welcome to our club. So moving on, Showstoppers has been chartered in 2019. This is our 73rd meeting. Hi. Can you hear us now? Okay, all right. So like I was saying, this is our 73rd meeting. We've been chartered in 2019. We have had some founding members that are the pillars of our club who have been there from the start to now supporting the club. Our club strength, as we see it, is all about integrity, respect, patience, i.e. meaning whoever joins our club, we handhold them, we do not pressurize them, and we help them take them to the Toastmaster journey at their own pace.
Hey guys, so tomorrow till Friday we have Westwood is being represented at the Expo, Sharjah Expo, and we'd love the office bearers to be part of the.
Excellent Toastmaster David. Could I, if I muted, I think he by mistake put it on. Toastmasters, as you know, is a 98-year-old organization. Most of you are Toastmasters, so I'll just skip through this very fast. 300,000 members. Beauty of beauty of Toastmasters is the fact that it allows you to form into a leader, into a public speaker, and gives you a community that helps you move forward. In terms of moving forward, unlike many other clubs, Toastmasters has a very structured format. So a lot like your college, university, which allows you to choose a certain path and certain majors like you would do, and actually gives you the tools to move forward with it. You could do one tool, or you could do one stream, or you could do multiple streams. It all depends on your capability. Overall, it allows you to move those skills into the real world. Like Toastmasters always says, members like you all or speakers are the topmost of the pillar and are supported by a big team of clubs and areas and divisions. I won't go much into this. I would like to introduce you to our XCOM group that makes all the Showstoppers what it is. And here are our members. If anyone's really interested in joining our club, I encourage you to reach out to VPM or any one of us to do so. Coming to today's session, the reason today's session is extremely important is because I've shared in the past that I thought joining Showstoppers was all about actually public speaking. It's all about how you speak and how you conduct. Least did I realize that listening is a very important tool and getting feedback is the most important way for us to move forward. Hence, I'm extremely excited to have DTM Nana, who will be talking about and giving us an education session on how to evaluate. We're extremely thankful to our sir, Toastmaster Kimji, who's going to be a table topic evaluator and tell us how exactly do we conduct ourselves in these table topic sessions and give us rooms to improve and to bring all the project speeches and the evaluations and the sessions together. We have our lovely MC, Toastmaster David, who I shall call on in a little while. Before I leave, this is something that I would like you all to quickly read, please. Focus on the lines that are highlighted with an underline. Evaluating is itself the most valuable treasure of all that we value. It is only through evaluation that value really exists. By this, what I would like to share with you guys is the fact that evaluation is a very important step to being a better person, let that be a public speaker or be an individual itself. So take in everything that you can from today's session, and I hope you all have a lovely time. With this, I pass on to our energetic, charismatic MC for the evening, Toastmaster David.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Dinesh, for that lovely, lovely introduction. Might I just get the presentation? So the presentation you made so that we can run through the session. And I'm very, 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 very excited for this because I love table topics. And I think that's something that I really want to, I really want to improve on, especially for the club contest that's coming up in the area. And I think our club is going to grow so fast within the next couple of meetings with this. And it's given by our experienced Toastmasters. So tabletop is done by Toastmaster Meeta, which is really, really nice. And we have great, great evaluations as well by our respected tabletop evaluated Toastmaster Kimji. And of course, education session as well. Come on, how excited are we now? Because it's online and we have a lot of cameras on. We have what? We have Toastmaster Meeta's camera on. We have our general evaluated DTM Gayatри's camera on. Are you guys all excited for this session? Are you all excited? Now, because there's some guests over here, I like to make this a bit interesting, interactive, even though it's online. So, DTM Gayatri, general evaluator, what was your first memory with table topics?
17 hours, 10 ants, 7 sows counted by the counter, and it was presented on an Excel sheet, marked in all red as needs for improvement. It was my memory.
Oh, that works out well. Okay, I'm glad. Now we've moved on from that time. I think you're sounding a very lot more confident about the use of filler words. That's amazing. What about you? Toastmasters echo is amazing. I love that. Hello. Okay, so I don't think we have to create a beat now for that. So no music has to be created. But what about you, Toastmasters? So what was your first experience with table topics?
It was a great 1 year before when I joined this Toastmaster club. I had joined as a guest. And that was the first time when I attended this table topic. Unfortunately, I never knew what was that table topic all about. I've been given a topic and was silent for more than a minute, which cut out short of time. And at the end, I ended up with the red card. And that was my first experience. I ran out of time.
Now, I mean, that's the first I've heard of that Toastmasters. Usually when people get on stage to talk about table topic, they usually just want to just, reach that 1 minute mark, and you went ahead, and that's a proper speaker in the making over there. But I'm glad you're over here. So is there anyone else who's interested? Oh, but first I have to give a huge shout out to Toastmasters, to Mr. Vikas, who is our guest for the evening as well. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I am there, driving back home from office.
Oh.
But yeah, connected my phone to the Bluetooth. And this is my first ever session, any Toastmaster session for me.
All right.
So just learning.
Okay, that is going to be wonderful then. I'm so glad, Mr. Vikas, you've joined us. And as I am the MC for today, or the person who just loves to talk around and move around the session, I'm glad you have the new experiences as well. I'm glad we got to know DTM Gayatri's experience and our guest Toastmaster Sumit's experience about this. But, because they haven't been familiar, you guys are not familiar with our club as much. I want to pick on some of our members and tell us their first experience with table topics. Now, let me pick. My first pick is Toastmaster Roshni. How is your first experience with, she's one of our speakers and a doctor in the making. How is your first experience with table topics?
I think that, was my first meeting, and then I was asked to speak. I don't remember the topic exactly, but then I knew that I was shivering and I didn't know what to say because I was just there just my face was just like blank and I didn't know what to say, and that's how the time went by, and yeah, that was really embarrassing at that time. But
don't we all have an embarrassing story over there? Oh my God. I think the last time I had a table topic session, I could not talk. I was stuttering the entire meeting because the question was that good. I could not believe that. So I think Toastmaster Sridevi as well, our VP Education. Tell us, how was your first experience with table topics? We've been a member for a long, long time over here. How has that been?
Well, as I was thinking of joining Toastmasters, I had visited a lot of clubs, and every time I was called for a table topic, I used to go blank. Now that I have been a Toastmaster since 1.5 years, I can talk about anything. So that's the difference.
Now, isn't that great? Isn't that great? So I'm kind of glad everyone is present and everyone is ready for such a exciting session. But I like to call upon the word master of today, who basically introduces us to a new word. And for the entire meeting, we should be using the word over there. And so first, our introduction is our word master is the drum roll, everyone. Toastmaster Tahmila over there from Maldives. How are you, Miss? Can you hear me? Am I audible? Toastmaster Tahmila.
Yeah. Hi.
All right. So she's our word master of the day. I hand my power or bestowed over to her.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. The word of the day is contentment. Contentment is what most of us strive for in life, means the state of being contented or satisfaction, ease of mind. Synonyms are complacency, gratification, and satisfaction. Antonyms are agitation, displeasure, disappointment. In a culture that encourages hustling and harder and always striving to be your best, this word holds a special kind of significance because the times when we feel settled and at peace are so rare. You might use it to describe those moments, such as spending time with your family or doing something you enjoy. Contentment isn't an excited kind of happy, it's more like a peaceful ease of mind. Here are some examples for that. One example is research suggests slow blinks are associated with a positive emotional state and can be a sign of trust, contentment, and affection, similar to a human smile. A very simple example is I'm content of what I have in my life. And there's also another example. Let your child help make some of the choices so there will be a feeling of ownership and contentment. I hope this now our Toastmasters are clear of what contentment is. So over to you, David.
Now, isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely contentment? I can't wait for everyone to use that. So I'll be keeping track as long as the word master is married. I'll keep track because I love cheering for people. So whoever uses the word, you get a round of applause for me and the rest of showstoppers. Now, I need to get the project. Like I need to. This is going to be amazing. Because now the next part of our segment is the drum roll. Is the project speeches. Is the project. I'm just getting my slide open over here. The project speeches. Then our first speaker is Toastmaster Roshni. Are you excited, Toastmaster Roshni? She's a doctor of our group. Like it's actually Dr. Roshni over here, and she is attempting her project speech, which we're very, 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 very excited to hear. So could we have Toastmaster Afaf read the purpose of the speech, please? Toastmaster Afaf. I don't think she's there. Okay. You know what? Quick thinking, on the spot thinking. Toastmaster Roshan, do you have the evaluation sheet of your speech?
Yeah.
Could you just open it and read the purpose of it if Toastmaster Afaf is not there?
Yeah.
Sorry guys, in the world of Zoom, we have technical issues, but we persevere. Thumbs up.
Okay, should I read it out?
Yeah, sure. Anyone can read it out. It's just
Okay. The Roshni is attempting L1P2 evaluation and feedback project. The objectives of the project are: the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Over to you. And Toastmaster Roshan, can you see the timer? Like, Toastmaster Kazi, get the lights over there.
Yeah. I'll just be sharing my screen.
All right. So, all right. Toastmaster Roshni, are you ready?
Yeah.
The stage is yours.
Good evening, showstoppers. My title of the speech is My Grandmother is My Superwoman. I'm sure when you heard this title, it reminded you all of the times when you spoke about your parents or grandparents in your kindergarten. My dad is my superhero. But the fact that my grandmom is actually a superwoman dawned upon me only recently. Because you see, all my childhood, I remembered my grandmother as M.N. Rajakumari, advocate, a retired lawyer who now just does notarization. I would spend my time with her during my summer vacations, where I got to eat a yummy homemade delicacies. She taught me how to play rummy. This was something I would go back and tell proudly my friends that, I know how to play rummy. Rummy is not bad. As long as you as long as you just play for fun. She even taught me how to read and write my mother tongue, Telugu. These were just some of the few memorable moments of me those days. My bond with her grew even stronger when I had to move to India for my higher studies, where I got to spend much more time with her. One day, recently, I decided to interview my grandmother by asking some basic life questions. This way, I thought I would figure out what to do with my life. She was born in a small town in Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh. She was the youngest of her 7 siblings and her father's fondest. All she remembers is that she had a very happy childhood. She wanted to be in an independent profession and thought of becoming a doctor. But when she couldn't get it, she chose her next best option and took up law. She had some of the best college days. She made 4 lifelong best friends who till today meet and share their sorrows and happinesses with each other. She even met her love there, my grandfather. He was a young, handsome lecturer, whereas my grandmother was known as the college beauty of those days. So how could my grandfather miss that chance? So that's how the story began. They got married and got 2 wonderful kids, my mother and my aunt. She worked as a civil lawyer, and she was the first woman to be part of the Machilipatnam Bar Council. All her 25 years of service went smoothly, and then had an early retirement. When her retirement life began, she started feeling uncertain. That's when she took up a spiritual path to find her solace. She practices meditation and yoga to help fight her inner conflicts. She spends her time taking part in community events and also organizes several service-oriented events. On Sundays, she chills with her kitty party friends. She and her college friends make it a point to meet each other at least once a year. So when her children and grandchildren come to visit her, she spends her time with them. So this is the story of my grandmother. You all might be wondering why I'm sharing my grandmother's story with you. There are no dramatic events. So what is so great about it? Well, this is the life of normal people, simple and sweet. So I realized that I want to be more like my grandmother as I grow older. This is why. She's so independent and strong-willed. She takes care of her own health, both physically and mentally. Being part of a generation where women weren't given much opportunities, she was fulfilling the role of a lawyer and a mother with ease. Well, it was not as easy as I'm saying it. She had to juggle between her studies and her first child, but yet she took it as a challenge and completed it. And also, it's pretty cool that she still holds a maiden name. Here, I learned that if we are dedicated and passionate towards what we're doing, there is nothing that can stop us. Being the only woman among her male colleagues, I thought she might have to face some kind of difficulties. But there she was, being treated like one of their own women of their home, with respect and kindness. Here, I learned that we should not be afraid that we are alone. Rather, embrace our opportunities and hope that kindness prevails. It is so easy to share with her anything. She doesn't judge anyone or anything. She has a much better progressive thinking than unlike some people who even now have such narrow minds. This is who I want to be. Smart, kind, hardworking, passionate, non-judgmental, and an easygoing, happy woman. And these are some of your taking points. Live your life stress-free. Don't be afraid to take challenges which will benefit you. Make friends who you will cherish for life. Be healthy and be happy. This is the story of my superwoman who raised 2 other superwomen, my mother and my aunt, and I hope I become one too. Thank you.
Now that was amazing. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Roshni, for that. It's going to be really good. So moving on to our next speaker. Oh my days. I'm excited for this as well. Now, this is our president of the Showstoppers Club, Mr. Dinesh. And one fun fact about Mr. Dinesh, right? In our recent Gavels meeting at Westwood University, he is the only person who beat me at EXO and saved the pride of the Gavels Club, because currently the score is 4-0 and he made it 4-1. So some pride is over there. But could we have Toastmaster Sumit, his evaluator, please read out the purpose of his speech?
Thank you so much. So Toastmaster Dinesh would be attempting today Persuasive Influence from Level 2 Project 3. His speech title is Intro to Toastmaster Mentoring. Thank you.
Now that's amazing. Toastmaster Kazi, are you ready with the timer cards? Are you ready with the 5, 6, and 7? So, Toastmaster Dinesh, the person who beat me at XNO, the stage is yours. Toastmaster Dinesh, you're on mute. Yeah, you're on mute. You're on mute. Mute.
Thank you, Toastmaster David. Well, where my daughter is a member of the Gavel Club, I have to keep my name. So sorry I had to beat you, but I'm looking forward to some more of our challenges together. Toastmaster Sumit, thank you for the brief. I would like to start off by telling you a story. Am I audible? Am I visible? Good. So let me start off by telling you a story. The story is from a Greek mythology. Long time ago. There was once a king of Ithaca, and his name was Odysseus. You may have heard of Odysseus. He's a hero of that epic poem by Homer. Odysseus had to leave his kingdom and go to fight the Trojan War. And he had a son, Thalamus, that he was concerned about. So he took his son and he offered it to a guardian. And he instructed the guardian to make sure that Thalamus is guided properly, is supported properly, and is encouraged to be the wonderful leader, the warrior that Odysseus wanted him to be. Can I ask you all, do you know the name of the guardian by any chance? Okay, I don't see any raised hands, but let me share with you. That person's name is mentor. And that's where we get the terminology mentor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dinesh, and I'm going to talk to you about the importance of mentoring, either in life or in Toastmasters. So like I said, mentor's role was to take Thalamus and make sure that he's guided and coached properly. So what is a mentor? Mentor is actually a person who has the experience and has been on a journey before you, and they can guide you on how to do things better. Let me give you an example. I joined Showstoppers somewhere around April. That's right, Anita, somewhere around April, March, April. And with all the enthusiasm that I loved about the club and all the members that it had, I stood up and said in the month of May or June, I want to be the president. I want to follow our IPP right now, Amita, and do what she does. Least did I realize that as soon as you are elected a president of an XCOM club, the Dubai summer holidays start and everybody disappears. And there you are supposed to have your first meeting trying to create an impression as a president and carry that whole charisma of what the club is all about. And you realize, hold on, you need a GE, you need evaluators, and many of your members have disappeared. What do? And this is when you reach out. And when a person reaches out and tells you, you know what, Dinesh, this is what you could do. What is it that you want to do as a president, Dinesh? How would you like to conduct your meeting? Why don't you look at and reach out to some of the clubs and see how they do? They were not telling me the answers, but they were giving me a path on how to go about to do so. That to me, guys, is mentoring. You remember the story about a person who's fishing? You know, you give him a fish, he will not starve for a day, but teach him to fish, and he will feed himself for the rest of his life. That's what a mentor does for me, and that is what I've been that I consider my unofficial mentors, such as DTM Anita, Amita IPP, and our VPE Sri Devi, who have always stood by my side, telling me, Dinesh, you know, maybe you want to look at this, never giving me the answer. So for me, a mentor is a person who gives you the path to move forward. A mentor also for me is someone who sees the potential in you, right? And then they see where you are able to go. They bridge that gap for you. When I was with Emirates Airlines, I remember that in my first 2 weeks of joining, the whole senior management team had to travel to the US for a meeting. I couldn't go because the visa stamp had still not come in. Hence, I had to sit back and manage the operations. This, mind you, this is 1 to 2 weeks into the organization. And a big boss calls me over and tells me, Dinesh, can you give me the financial report? What did I do? I started getting nervous. This is when I called up my manager. She's sitting in the US at somewhere around 2 in the morning. She got up and said, Dinesh, take it easy. Do you know your facts? Do you know how to work on this? Just go do your level best. If something falls, I'm there for you. That again is an example for me as a mentor. When I look around, where do we find mentors? When I was working on this project, it made me realize mentors are all around us. When I was growing up, I had mentors by default, my parents. They knew what my potential was and they coached me to go there. Yes, they wanted me to be a doctor or an engineer and I wanted to be a businessman, but they let me follow my dreams through. They made me think and they said, go for it. What is it that you want? How is it that you're going to achieve? Then you got mentors by force, my teachers. They can question sometimes by telling you, oh, you're rubbish, you're a failure. But my teacher said, Mr. Bhatia, you have the potential. Why don't you try doing this? And that's when I moved one stream to another stream. Then you got mentors by choice. This is where you come to Toastmasters, you watch people and you try and find people that are willing to work with you. And so the mentors are all around us. How do we find a mentor? I'll just quickly run them through for you. One, go and watch people speak. When you see them doing magic, go, do not feel scared to approach them and ask them, are you going to be able to help me out? And they will teach you the power of turning magic into science and say, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to prepare. So do not fear for rejection, my friends. Go after your Toastmaster mentors. Second, reach out, like I said to you. Last but not the least, activate the relationship with them. Find some common grounds to work with. Because unless and until you do not connect with your mentor, you're not going to learn. And remember, mentors are not like marriage. You just, if one doesn't work with somebody else. So my dear friends, mentorship in Toastmasters helps you accelerate, but people can show you where to go and how to go. Thank you very much, and over back to you.
Now that was pretty good. And 100% the fact about mentors is something I'm very, very, very passionate about. And that is what my DTM project is also about, mentoring the Gavels Club. And definitely we need to get another challenge, and I have to get my win record back up. So could we have the timers report by Toastmaster Kazi, please?
Yes. Toastmaster Roshni spoke for 6 minutes 8 seconds, and Toastmaster Dinesh spoke for 7 minutes 20 seconds.
Oh, both qualified.
So both are qualified.
Now that's amazing. That is wonderful to see. Now the Zoom master over there, please could you launch the poll between Toastmaster Dinesh and Toastmaster Roshni while we move on to the other section of our segment. The Zoom master, please. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. The guests enjoyed that quite a lot. Now, the next part of our segment, or the next best thing over here, is the table topic segment by Toastmaster Amita. Now, she is the one who got me to Showstoppers as well, I think, in the month of July. And I have to say that's been one of the best decisions I've made over here, because the leaps and bounds I've seen the growth in myself and the others have seen around me has been tremendous, and it's all thanks to the mentoring by Toastmaster Anita, and the rest of Showstoppers over here. So, could we have a big round of applause for our table topics master, Toastmaster Amita? And then, guys, whatever the energy. Let's go. Yes, I see claps. I see claps.
Thank you, Toastmaster David.
Thank you.
I would like to read out the objective of the table topics on the onset. Table topics is a long-standing Toastmasters tradition intended to help members develop their ability to organize their thoughts quickly and respond to an impromptu question or topic. So here I'm going to call upon the members one by one, and our veteran Toastmaster Chaitanya Khimji is going to give you evaluation and feedback to each member. So don't lose this opportunity. Make the best for it for the upcoming contests. May I call upon Toastmaster Deepansh? Toastmaster
Yes,
Deepansh?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, we are not able to see you. I suppose you are facing some problem. All right, we can see you now.
Yeah.
So here the topic is, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So Toastmaster Deepansh, can enemies ever become friends? Can enemies ever become friends? Toastmaster Deepansh.
Well, I believe that enemies can become friends. Reason being that we become enemies due to a reason, and similarly we become friends again due to a reason. Now, for example, there are various examples in different fields or different parts of life. Just for example, if you see someone in business, so today they're competitors, and they're competitors at work, but they might be friends outside the work. Another example could be that they're rivals, but they might get together in order to compete with someone else. So yeah, there are different situations where enemies might become friends, but then at the end, you should not always trust your friends either, because sometimes your friends also might not be your well-wishers. So it works both way around. So yeah, I believe that enemies can become friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepansh. Sir, do you want 30 seconds in between?
No.
All right. So may I call upon the next member, Toastmaster Kazi, I will time you while you're speaking, so don't worry about that. Are you ready? So Toastmaster Kazi, what's one thing you wished you learned sooner? What's one thing you wished you learned sooner, Toastmaster Kazi?
One thing I wish I should learn sooner is public speaking. So that is the reason I have joined Toastmaster. And I should have joined earlier. I mean, that's what in our previous meeting I said that I should have joined during my college days. I should have joined Toastmaster during my college days. Then by this time I would have been very fluent and very easygoing public speaker, I should say. And yes, public, I feel like communication and speaking, with that with that skill you can rule the world. You can you can convince the person. I'm into sales, basically. I'm taking care of project sales, and I'm visiting construction fields, construction sites. And if I have been a fluent speaker, and I would have joined Toastmaster long back, then I would have been in a better position than now to speak to my customer and to explain them and to convince them what my point is and what my product talks about. So yes, the one thing which I felt I should learn sooner, in fact, as soon as possible, it should be public speaking. Over to you, Toastmaster Amita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kazi. Okay, now may I call upon Toastmaster Sri Devi. She is the VP of our club. Toastmaster Sri Devi, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Can people who disagree on politics be married? Can people who disagree on politics be married? Toastmaster Sri Devi.
Well, I feel two people with different political opinion can be married, provided there is not much discussion on the topic at home. It's often seen that couples discuss and talk about a lot of things, including politics. But when you have two different opinions on politics, it is better to keep it out of marriage. Otherwise, it would harm the relationship as well. Once people get married, have kids, it is often the kids that come into the topic. So it's to be on the safer side, it is better to keep politics out of marriage in case you disagree. I personally disagree with my husband on political views and my other tastes like music, food, etc. So we keep our opinions separate and our relationship separate. So it's always better that way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sri Devi. May I call upon the next member, Toastmaster Dinesh. Toastmaster Dinesh, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Toastmaster Dinesh.
That's an excellent question, Toastmaster of the day. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I truly believe that the chicken has to have come before the egg, right? Why do I say this? because I don't know, maybe chicken, if I think about it, if it is said that God created world, and in the world he put, if you go through what one of the set of religions is, there were a set of animals that were set around, and that's how the world came about. So it makes me think that there was a chicken. However, with a chicken, there has to be a hen, because without a hen, you will have no babies. Having said that, I really do believe, jokes apart, that a chicken comes before an egg, purely because if it was an egg, there would be no one to sit on it. And if the egg, you don't want the egg, it can't hatch. And if it doesn't hatch, it becomes a scrambled egg. Hence, I really do believe the fact that if there was a chicken and egg situation, the chicken would have had to definitely be there for the egg to turn into another chicken. So I believe the chicken has to be there. So chicken came first before the egg. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh. Okay, may I call upon our next member, Toastmaster Roshni. Toastmaster Roshni, can science and religion coexist? Can science and religion coexist? Toastmaster Roshni.
Well, I am biased. I cannot say that this science is. I mean, really, you cannot bring religion into science or science into religion, because like human beings human beings are of two types. One, some people believe in faith, and they believe that a higher power exists, and there are other type of people who believe in proofs or logics or something which is there in front of them, which they can believe in, which is in front of their eyes. So there are two kinds of people there. So and people try to bring logic into religion also, sometimes saying that see, science tells that this is the reason for this belief in this particular religion. So they try to mix it up both, but then it's not always true, because what people had, how people have their beliefs in their particular religion is based upon how it has been passed through generations, like how maybe their great grandfather or grandmother have told them, and that's how it passed on. So you cannot prove it technically. But science, on the other hand, you would do experiments and various other things to prove it. So you cannot compare both of them. And I'm not very I'm biased based on that thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshni. Okay, as per the agenda, we are running a few minutes late, and so I can just it allows me to take only one more person. It can be from the guests list. May I have a volunteer? Would anyone like to go for it? Okay, welcome. Toastmaster Shanavas. He is from the Rui Club. So Toastmaster Shanavas, this is for you. Should you eat pizza with your hands or with a fork and knife? Should you eat pizza with your hands or with a fork and knife? Toastmaster Shanavas. Are you muted? We are not able to hear you.
Am I audible now?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Now, this question depends on two people. The first kind of people are those who love to be very stylish. And the other people like me who doesn't care, who just want to eat and enjoy. So if I am giving the option of eating by fork or by hand, definitely I will use my hands. Because once a pizza is there And right now I'm hungry, so I'm able to experience it and explain it in a better way. The aroma of the pizza and the look wise, the chicken toppings or the mushroom toppings, whatever, and the cheese slurping down from the pizza, I just want to attack it. I will not care who's looking at me, whether it's fork or spoon. The pizza has to go inside my stomach as soon as possible, and I have to enjoy each and every bit of the taste of that pizza. So definitely, this is a thing which I would do. But again, we can say there are some situations where we are forced to do something different, especially when we are in a official party. In that, we cannot expect to eat in a very sluggish way. So maybe it would be a little bit impatient to just take a pizza with a fork and spoon, and it might be a bit uncomfortable as well. But at times we have to follow the protocol of official meeting. So in this way, I would like to say that eating with fork or pizza or with the hand, the main thing is you have to eat it at all. Over to the table topic master. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shahnawaz. It was so nice listening to all the topics. May I have the timer report, Toastmaster Kazi?
Yes. Toastmaster Dipash, he spoke for 1 minute 7 seconds. And I don't have my timing, Amita.
1 minute 14 seconds.
Okay. Yes. And Toastmaster Sridevi, she spoke for 1 minute 4 seconds. And Toastmaster Dinesh, he spoke for 1 minute 14 seconds. And Toastmaster Roshni, he spoke for 1 minute 27 seconds. And Toastmaster Shahnawaz, he spoke for 2 minutes 2 seconds.
So all are qualified for the polls. So over to you, Toastmaster Kimji.
I guess let it be completed. I don't want the poll to be influenced by what I have.
All right.
I think it will take some time for the Zoom master to actually update the name sent, because he was the timer as well in this case. So if you would give us a minute or so, we'll try and get it updated.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, because I just don't want my being influenced on any of
So in the
vote.
meanwhile, can I ask a few more guests to speak on the topics instead of just having a blank screen?
I think that's wise. I think that's excellent. Kazi, can you?
Our guest, Vikas, would you like to attempt an impromptu question?
Sure.
Thank you. So here it goes for you. What's more important, speaking or listening? What's more important, speaking or listening? The time limit will be 1 to 2 minutes.
As per my understanding, listening is more important than speaking. First, you have to listen and understand the context of what is the topic, and then you speak on the topic. When you listen and talk, you speak to the context and you are to the point and you're answering the person on the topic. So listening is more important than speaking. So once you listen to person, you are to the point and you're giving a reply on the context. Thanks, everybody.
You can try to go on for a few more minutes until you at least come to 1.
Okay.
The timer will show you a green card.
Sometimes happens that when you speak without listening, you are not able to you are not able to explain your point, understand the person's point of view, and not able to reply him or explain him on the context of the query or subject.
Okay.
I think so.
Thank you so much. Thank you. A good attempt.
TTM
Sridevi.
Amita. Sorry, TTM Amita, can I take a second?
Yeah, sure.
Kazi, I just want to know, are you able to update the poll for table topics? As you have signed as a Zoom master, so I think you will have access to the edit polls. I can take over the timer role if you want, while you can just confirm if you can actually do it. Go to poll and edit.
I have one more suggestion. Maybe you can have a private message Toastmaster Amit. All those who want to vote in private message Toastmaster Amit.
I think that's an excellent option at this point of time. Just for the benefit.
Okay, that will save our time. We are running late according to the agenda.
Yeah.
Amita, do you have the sequence of people who have spoken so that people know whom they voted? Okay.
Yes, I have. But you can just message me the name whom you would like to vote. I need not give the list now.
Okay, fair enough.
Toastmaster Kazi, just give me a red light when the 1 minute is over. That will help me to start my evaluation. Yeah.
Has everyone sent in their messages? Just put a reaction button of a thumbs up if you have done that. So then Sir Kimchi can start. Thank you, Shanawaz. Can I ask all the guests and members to please send in your things and put a thumbs up. We'll keep it open for another probably 20 seconds or 30 seconds, please. Thank you, Sridevi. ETM, are you okay? Have you received the thing? Can we start?
I think we'll go ahead. Madam Toastmaster Amit, I think we can go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Carry on.
First of all, let me very safely say that I have heard the 7 samurais of today. The 7 speakers of today have given me a lot of contentment in my mind that there are super potential winners as far as the Toastmasters fraternity is concerned from the Showstoppers Club, and the guests are not far behind as well. Individually, I will be giving you a feedback on how the topic was approached and how I feel that you could have approached it in a little better way so that you can gather good points at the contest level. Now, at the contest level, there is, of course, speech development, effectiveness, physical features, voice appropriation, and corrections in grammar. Now, appropriation can be voice appropriate as well as appropriation as far as the audience is concerned. Well, the topics were wonderful. There was hardly any scope for inappropriateness.
Have we lost him, or is it?
Have we lost him?
Okay.
Has he got dropped?
I think probably net issues on his end. Maybe we could, in the interest of time, probably start with the evaluations and then let Kimji sir join in. If he doesn't join in a few seconds, so that we can finish the meeting on time. Kimji sir, are you back?
If the evaluators are ready. Okay. Sir is here.
So if you want, we can do the evaluation feedback.
Yes, I was just looking for the option of unmuting myself. Okay, so coming back to that, he took a stance which was wonderful. He took a stance where he took enemies in the form of competitors during their field of competition, but friends outside that, and rivals in other fields, and also getting together and being able to compete. That was a wonderful stance that he took. But then he went on to talking about those who are friends and whether they can be trusted or not. Now, friends, whether they can be trusted or not, is something which again leaves an option open for being not an enemy, but somebody whom you do not have contentment with. So what you need to do, Toastmaster Dipansh, is when you take a stance, put all the positives that you think about the way in which competitors can get into the field of things, which was good. But also you can expect the fact that there are some types of people who are irritation creators. And that's the reason why you need to make a stance on both and then stress with your conclusion as far as those are concerned. Toastmaster Kazi, I would only like the red light at the end of my evaluation. So give me the time. Flashing a red disturbs my process. Thank you so much. Talking about the next topic, what I think you wished you learned sooner. Toastmaster Kazi, your stance on public speaking was amazing. You really admired the fact that if you wish you had been a Toastmaster during your college days, you would have advanced in your field of operations as a sales pitch person. That was beautifully said, and it really drove home the point. But one area where you could have added, because both the previous speaker as well as you have spoken for 1 minute only, whereas you have a full 1 minute and probably grace of 30 seconds to speak about what you have learned during your Toastmasters journey in terms of public speaking. How has it been helpful and how has it been you have been successful in your sales pitch? And you can then say that overall, what was I, and you could put a touch of humor there by saying, oh, I was nowhere near a good salesman, to what I have become today with my wit, humor, and communications. So this is how you can add flavor in those 1.5 minutes. Don't stop. Let the flow go on because the stage is yours. The next speaker, there was Madam Toastmaster Sridevi. Can people who disagree be married? Well, one thing she has definitely proved, that while she carries politically diverse aspect of her thinking in her marriage, a successful marriage with children to have the pleasure with and discuss about, I think her relationship was so beautifully explained that it really makes you feel that you have the good, positive vibes even during a negative position. It is very nicely said that you took a stance as far as political views is concerned. But somewhere you could have added in those 1.5 minutes that you missed out is, where did you come into a tricky situation? Maybe at a party, maybe at an event, where you were standing with people who were talking about some political views, and were you afraid to express it in front of your husband? Or did you say, no, today is my day. I will talk about whatever I am because I'm not arguing with my husband. I'm just putting my point across. So all these type of flavors is there within those 2 minutes to grab. Don't miss out. Just let the flow go. Even if you talk nonsense out there, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's your stage. You talk what you want to talk, and it doesn't matter at all. Okay, you may not score the points, but you have probably created an interest in the judges. Next, we shall move to the topic, what came first, the chicken or the egg? A beautiful debatable point, which has been so positively and with lots of humor attempted by Toastmaster Dinesh. I think I just love the way you said how the human nature of mating is a must. Male effect, the female effect, and then the egg is born. It's the bonding of the male and the female, Adam and Eve sort of situation. And you brought about a lot of good humor. And you also said that your literal approach to that chicken and egg situation was very well described. But again, 1 minute and a few seconds. What happens to those 1 minute and 30 seconds where you are missing out? Now here you can fill in the live examples of what a chicken and egg situation is. In your personal example, for example, what sort of a fix were you in? Is that more important? Is that what is to be done first? Or it is the next thing that is to be done? When you are at the crossroads, when you are at a dilemma, that's when you make a decision. That or that. If I do this first, this results. If I do that, that results. And how did you attend to the fact that chicken or the mating principle you apply to your decision making? I took that decision because this business was a brainchild of my thinking, my experience. I chose this business because I know everything about it, rather than jump into the unknown, which is something I don't know. So I didn't take the path of unknown. I took the path of well-traded, for example. These are the type of flavors, again, you can bring into your speech. Just don't stop. Let the mind flow. Relax, take a deep breath. Even if you have a few pauses at that time, it doesn't matter. Moving to Toastmaster Roshni, can science and religion coexist? Well, first of all, let's say, while it is a tricky question about science and religion, and it borders probably on our taboo subjects, I think Toastmaster Roshni did a wonderful job as far as explaining how faith and in belief in the higher power is one form of thinking, and the religion and science, which deserves proof or asks for proof, is something which is on the other end. Though people of science and religion try to bring about some sort of unison, it really doesn't happen, because mainly it is down with faith and the logical equations on the other end. Very beautifully put. I think that was really worth its weight in salt. Only area where I would like to say is, again, while you had those 1.5 minutes, you had a full 1 minute to spare. And in that particular 1 minute, you talked about I am biased. I quite didn't understand I am biased, because what I understand from I am biased is that you have a thinking at the back of your mind, you're prejudiced. You're prejudiced towards one thing. Now, I didn't know whether you were prejudiced towards science or whether you were prejudiced towards religion. I couldn't make out that. Maybe I thought when you said I'm biased, you meant you are split in between. Sometimes you believe in science, sometimes you believe in faith. So in that case, you don't use the word biased. You have two thinkings parallelly going on. Okay, your thinking process is debating within each other. Sometimes you believe science is good, sometimes you believe faith is good. A good stance to take, but at the end, or at the beginning of the topic, always take a stance, and which is what I saw you lacking in that particular area. But otherwise, I think you constructed the topic very well. Toastmaster Shahnawaz, I think you got a very, very nice, interesting topic. Pizza should be eaten with your hand or with your fork. I love the way in which you messaged the fact is that you created the drama of the delicious pizza in front of you. I think it's 7:45, somewhere around the time that dinner will shortly be served. Your enzymes are all ready to go into action. And the way you described it with your hands, with your body language, and with the manner in which your enthusiasm was there was very beautiful. Like the fact is that while you explained with your personal example of you wanting to eat with your hands so that your patience levels is not taken into consideration and you believe in the principle of eating with whatever is at the best. The second stance you took was that of the appropriateness in a hotel or in another place, and that was also beautifully mentioned. Towards the end, my dear friend, take a stance. Go back to the fact is that if I were in any position today, whether it's an hotel or whether it is in a personal joint, my hands are the ones which are going to make me eat that particular delicious pizza. And I don't care what the world thinks because it's my eating habits. You would be surprised to note in the United States of America, they eat the pizza with the hand. In India, they eat with the knife and fork. So it's quite amazing, and there have been many sense of humor followed in friend circles. The final speaker, and thank you all for giving me the contentment of talking to my heart's content. I would like to say, what's more important, speaking or listening? Guess what I did? I listened, and now I'm speaking. And that's exactly what I agree with Toastmaster Vikas. He really made sure that listening and understanding the topic is more important than speaking. Because if you speak before you understand it, you may lose the point of view of the speaker. Very beautiful sentences. I think probably one of your first attempts at table topic speaking. I think you have got a good start, but let the process flow. Come up with different ideas of why you believe in listening to be the powerful tool. Because we have two sets of ears and one mouth. You can say, I would love to listen with both my ears rather than speak with one mouth. And that would give the flavor of the person who has spoken, the contentment that he has spoken, and now it is his time to listen when you speak with that contentment. So I think overall, you guys have 7 samurais have done wonderfully well. Use the time. Don't be nervous about your flow. Your thoughts are beautiful. Your mind is clear. And I'm sure with a little bit of practice and listening to some videos, you will be great speakers. All the best, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Now, see, guys, that is what this session is for. Literally having one of the most experienced Toastmasters be able to evaluate us and learn from our speeches over here. Because when we go up on the club contest and when we go to potentially the area or division or district, it is these tips and techniques that our experienced Toastmasters, our mentors over here, do give us. And that's what's essential. Now we are reaching the tail end of our segment, and that is the evaluation. Now, I've always kind of messed up the score, but I think I've heard this from Toastmaster Stephen over here. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. I would really assume that's the way it works, okay? Because that is something Toastmasters live by. And for this over here, I'd like to call upon our general evaluator, all right, DTM Gayatri, to introduce the evaluators for all of our speakers. Now, actually, it's the education segment by DTM Nanaya. Is DTM Nanaya here? Please. Is she here? No, I don't think so. Miss Anita, is Toastmaster Anita, is she here?
She's not here in the meeting.
No, I'm trying to reach her, but I'm not able to get through.
Let's go ahead with the evaluation.
The evaluation and then do the education.
All right, all right. I think this is how we know we think up on the spot. I think it's lovely. So let me give you a proper introduction to who are general evaluators and who will be the one taking charge, apart from me, who I bestow the power as the MC of today. All right. Dr. Gayatri DTM is a stress and anxiety management coach and a meditation practitioner. She joined Toastmasters in September of 2020, around the same time I did. She was a district finalist in International Speech Contest in District 91 in the UK, London. 2021-22, she was Table Topics Area Champion in District 41, North India, East India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Bhutan. 2021, she is immediate past president of Kolkata Advanced Club. She has been a VP Education for an Advanced Club and a Global Club. She is currently serving as Area K3 Director in District 124. She enjoys attending Toastmasters meeting. All right, that's a wonderful introduction. I really want to hear international speech, general evaluate. I want to actually hear that international speech. If it's available on YouTube, please do send it in our group over there. I want to hear that. So I bestow my power to you over there, like a power vessel. Go. Here you go.
Thank you so much, David. I'm so sorry that the introduction took up so long. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us start with our prepared speech evaluations. And first speech evaluator for today is Afaf, Toastmaster Afaf. I can. Okay. Hello, Toastmaster Afaf. I'm extremely sorry. I don't have anybody's introductions on me. So I'm going to just hand over the stage to Toastmaster Afaf for the evaluation for our first prepared speaker.
Hello, Toastmasters. I can say it was a wonderful speech. Well done, T.M. Roshni. Dear Toastmasters, I like her speech because in her speech, it was content was very clear and everybody can understand it very easily. Because of that, I like her speech. In her speech, she used eye contact very well. Eye contact is very important in a public speech because it is the most important way to connect with the audience. In public speaking, eye contact is the most important component. If there's no connection with the audience, so it would appear as like reading a newspaper, right? I can say her comfort level is also in comfort zone. She is very comfortable and confident. Moving on to the next point, which is body gesture. Body gesture is essential in public speaking. Even when we are having an online meeting, body gesture plays an important role. In communication, nonverbal communication plays a major role to deliver the message. She did a great job in that area as well. And the next point is, in her speech, she mentioned her grandmother's leadership quality by mentioning her career being a lawyer and a mother of 2 children. At that time, it was not very easy to be on that position. There are many challenges, not like today's. But somehow she managed and she was very successful in her career and in her life. When she explained, I saw her facial expression. It shows her feelings towards her grandmother. It was an interesting story, constructed in an interesting way. The next point is vocal variety. Vocal variety is also very important. Voice tone, the speed, and the volume. It plays an important role and helps to convey the message very well. The audience pay more attention on how you say it rather than what you say it. Because of that, we have to be very careful on vocal variations. I think that is the only area that she needs to improve. In her speech, she can use more variation in different situations, like in her mother career and the handsome grandfather, about those things that she can change her voice tone. And audience awareness, then it is a very simple, in a simple way, she expressed the presentation. We all aware about what she is presenting, and it is, I can say that part is also very well done. And overall, the speech was good, and I can see her potential as this in this pathway level 1 speech. The last thing I can say, I want to tell you is Alida is the one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So I have no doubt that there is no barrier to reach her pathway. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Afaf. Afaf, I like that you pointed out each and every aspect of public speaking when you were doing your evaluation. Only one suggestion that I would like to give you is that maybe you point out everything that you liked about her speech first, so that as an audience, we know what all were the positive aspects of the speech, followed by what is it that you felt could have been better in the speech. So that gives us a clear difference between the 2 points. And then you could summarize at the end, telling what is it that the speaker should retain and what is it that the speaker could improve upon. And that would make for a really good evaluation, but good observations all in all. As far as our speaker is concerned, Toastmaster Roshni, your speech, yes, Afaf?
I just want to ask, so you want me to first highlight all the good things and after that the improvement? I thought I used a sandwich approach. So the first good thing and bad, and bad, and again the
commendation, recommendation, commendation pattern. But when you started in the beginning, the opening of your evaluations, it was not clear as to whether it was commendation or what it was. So which is why making your commendations clearer. The sandwich approach is perfect, not a problem. You can start with commendations, give a recommendation, then a commendation to summarize. That is perfect. But there was a little lack of clarity in terms of whether your observations about body gestures or all those things, whether they were commendations or whether they was mere observations. That, okay, every speech requires this, because it felt like you were talking about how it is required in a public speech and how she did it, instead of how she did it really very well. So it was just about the clarity regarding the speech. Moving on to talking about Toastmaster Roshni, your speech was really good. I liked the organization of your speech. I love the way you used the photographs in the screen share. My only recommendation to you would be that because the screen was shared throughout, the focus was getting deviated from you. So maybe when the photographs were relevant, the photographs could have been shared, and the other times the screen share could have been stopped so that we would have got a better view of you, and we would have been able to enjoy your speech even further, because we would have had you in a clear view. Now, I would like to call upon stage our next evaluator for our second prepared speaker. Please help me welcome on stage Sumit Eng. He comes from Kolkata Online Reverend Toastmasters Club. He is VP Education there. Over to you, Sumit.
Thank you, General Evaluator Gayatri, distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri Deshmukh. The famous politician from Massachusetts says, mentoring is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. Toastmaster Dinesh Bhatia, you had started with a favorite story of mine, and that's of Odysseus' son Telemachus, and from where we derived the perfect word of mentor. And I heard it, and I was exploring those stories when I was appraising my own mentor. Thank you for remembering me, making me to remember those lines again, those story again. You shared a personal experience. You had mentioned how you started as a president of this showstopper Toastmaster Club. We can understand how Toastmaster mentoring was important to you and how you understood it from the clubs that you have participated. And I can feel it, honestly speaking. Unfortunately, I was looking out for some quotation or some conversation that you did with your manager, with distinguished Toastmaster Anita. I was looking forward some voice modulation wherein we can understand that was spoken by your manager or your distinguished Toastmaster Anita. If it was there, it would have been a more better. However, you had also shared some examples what is meant by mentors. You had mentioned mentors can be by force, or mentors are the people who shows the path, and had defined the perfect introduction of mentoring. All in all, what I felt is your story about the mentoring, your own personal experience, and the story that you and the definition of the mentorship that you had placed in front of us had helped us to introduce the actual method of mentoring into mentorship in Toastmasters. However, I was looking forward to know what Toastmaster mentoring is all about, how it can impact the Toastmasters in this journey. I was looking forward to it. If you could have shared more examples, then it might have adequated my thirsty, or it might have quenched my thirst. However, you were perfect in your particular speech, and I like the way with the voice clarity that you have expressed, the camera you have faced, the speech that you have delivered, your hand gestures were perfect. All in all, you did a great job. Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh Bhatia.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sumit, for that evaluation. Opening was bang on, starting with a quote, a textbook approach for any contest evaluation. I liked how you complimented the speaker on all the things that you liked. However, when you started talking about the areas of recommendation, you used words or phrases like "unfortunately, I was looking forward to." So usually when we are evaluating, we would like to avoid all the negative words like "unfortunately," "bad," or stuff like that. Instead, you could have used phrases like, I would have liked to hear more stories. I would have loved this, or this particular thing would have enhanced your speech. Something like that, but not using negative words directly. As far as our speaker is concerned. So, Dinesh, your speech was nice. However, I felt that you spent more time on talking about what mentoring is rather than what mentoring experience was for you. So my suggestion would be maybe you can take examples from outside Toastmasters, but when you are narrating the story, maybe you might want to relate it to what is the Toastmasters mentoring experience, because the whole project is about how the Toastmasters mentoring experience has been different compared to your outside mentoring experience. So maybe a comparison between the two would have probably met with the speech objectives better. Thank you so much. I would now like to call upon our timers report for both the evaluators before we go to the wordmaster for the report.
Yes, our first evaluator spoke for 3 minutes 23 seconds, and second evaluator spoke for 2 minutes 44 seconds.
Thank you so much, Mr. Timer. While the polls are launched for the evaluators, can we have the report from our wordmaster for today? And please help me with the pronunciation if I'm pronouncing it wrong. It is Toastmaster Ahumila. Am I pronouncing the name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to request Toastmaster Thahumila to please present her Wordmasters report.
I guess she's not nearby.
Okay, in which case, I think I'll
Shall we
hand over
move
the
on?
stage. Yes, let us hand over the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day. So, David, the stage is all yours because I believe our education session facilitator is in the room. So, my report will come after that.
Yeah, after that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, DTM Gayatri. That was a wonderful, wonderful session. For the time being, for the evaluation, guys. Now we have an educational session, which is quite the interesting one because everyone would need some form of things, education training for an evaluation part aspect. So can I give an introduction? I'm going to give an introduction to who our facilitator is, DTM Naina. So DTM Naina Shaitu is a passionate Toastmaster member since 2010. Oh, that's amazing. That is actually amazing. That's what, 12 years a Toastmaster? Quite amazing. Runs children public speaking club called the Mohesna Gavels Club. She is the president of Mohesna Toastmaster Club, mentor of the JLT Club, Triple Crown winner for the past 3 years, ran a YouTube channel called Toastmasters. My goodness. Now that is a long list of accomplishments and achievements, and I am impressed. Like, I am blown away. That is such an inspiring list of achievements over there that one day I hope to aspire to as well. Now, can we have DTM Naina over there? Are you there, miss? Hey there, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Hi, David. Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hello, miss. How are you?
Very good. Can you just give me 2 minutes? I just reached home and I have to log in from the laptop.
Okay, no problem. Then.
So I'm just trying to sign in with the Zoom room. Join meeting, sign in. Joining meeting. Anybody with meeting number? 260-114. I'm very sorry. I know we are running very tight on the time, but to cover up the timing, just put it on the chat box. What do you fear when it comes to evaluation? Put it on the chat box. What is that one fear you have when you have been asked to do the evaluation? I can't see anybody. Fear of going completely blank. Okay, needs practice. Carry on. I'll just hop in and come on the other device.
Oh, I think these are such good fears. Like, I wouldn't say it's good, but like honest fears on. Like, for me personally, I hate hurting someone's feelings, and I've seen that. And like, literally because of how maybe critical you are, they never want to go up on stage again. To not discourage the person being able, yeah, exactly that. This is a very interesting, really good feeling how it'll be taken up. That's good. All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Shine, for joining us over here, and we thoroughly enjoyed your speech in table topics. So take it, and DTM Naina is back.
And can you guys hear me?
Of course, we can.
Okay. And I don't know how to remove the screen, so let it be, guys. Let it be called as club officer training. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
right. Is it yellow already?
No. Is it yellow? Whoa.
Wow.
Does it change?
Okay, so by the power vested in me as MC or TMOD, DJ Naina, you have the power of the stage now.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you for the power. Now, everybody in the room, those who have put the message in the chat box, thank you so much. And one message I really appreciate, which said the honest feedback. Yeah. Somebody said the fear of honest feedback. Chaitanya ji. Yeah. That is the trick. Okay. So today we'll be doing particularly on contest, keeping everything in mind about contest. Okay. And when we are in a contest, we sometimes don't give honest feedback to answer that question. Okay. One of my favorite quote when it comes to evaluation is digging for diamonds. Okay. One more question to put on the chat box, just in a yes no format. Why do we give feedback? Like, what comes in my mind when somebody tells me to give feedback? Put it on the chat box. Like, just two things. I should give him a feedback. I should give him the correction. I should tell him he did a good job. So what do you train your mind before you get into the feedback, the step into the feedback podium? Like, what things come in your mind? Balancing positive with negative. Okay. To improve the speaker, applaud him or her. Okay. To improve the speaker and evaluator as well. To improve. My question is, when you are an evaluator and you want to give some feedback, giving evaluation, giving feedback is giving something to that person, right? So my question is, what comes in your mind? Like, do you want that speaker to correct few things? Do you want that speaker to do in a XYZ format? What exactly you want to tell that speaker? What do you train your mind? Being honest in feedback to help him improve. Okay. Try saying something constructive. Okay. How many people are there in this room? 19. And very less people are able to type. Probably half are driving. Giving them 2 points to better at. Dinesh Bhatia. Okay. Nobody's typing right now. So let me tell you. For coming 1 week or for coming 7 evaluation sessions, don't give any feedback to the speakers. Just tell them what they did well. I repeat, just tell them what they did well. Because our mind is such a thing that when you start looking for mistakes in that speaker, you can never see what are the good things that speaker did. So what happens is you end up writing so many points of improvement for the speaker that you forget to dig for diamonds. So promise me for the coming 5 evaluations or coming 7 evaluations, we will practice only and only positive points. You may have your mentor, you may have your president coming to you and telling, I did not hear evaluator giving any feedback on improvements, right? It's okay. Because giving feedback for improvement can be trained just like that. But what is difficult to train ourselves is to find the good things in that speaker. As I say, dipping for diamonds. Any questions or anything, please don't mind, just put it on the chat box and we will discuss. Okay, if you disagree with me, put it in the chat box. I would love to debate on that. Somebody said to motivate him or her. Yes, I like that. Tahamila, a good round of applause for you. You have to motivate that speaker for coming there and speaking, for coming there and doing that good job. So, my friends, if you can give 3 to 4 good points of task they have done better. Somebody would have just selected a topic. Try to connect that topic to yourself, how that topic connected to you, and give that person a thumbs up. Give him a bravo. Talk to him about his opening body. Conclusion can be point 3. Talk to him about how he done the opening. Now, even if he's done a bad job on opening, do not comment on it. Remember, for coming 5 days, we are only doing the positive points. Talk to them about what did you see? Like how was the body structure, the hand movements, the head, the eyes. What did you see in the speaker? Comment on that. What did you hear? Was there a pause? Was there a pitch? Was there a volume? Was there a voice? Low note, high note? Comment good things about what did you hear. When you do all this, there is very less scope to find out what that speaker has not done correctly. But definitely there will be some. That moment you just give, but as a suggestion, I would request you, but don't give such a suggestion that you put the water on all the positive points which you spoke in the beginning. Okay. So when I always speak about evaluation, I say, get into the shoes of a teacher and a parent. Okay. So as a parent, you have some rights on your children, that how you give them the feedback. And then as a teacher, you have some rights which you can give to the speaker. So get into the shoes of a teacher and a parent, and then try to be an evaluator. Thirdly, as an evaluator, don't directly get into the shoes of evaluator and say, you did this wrong, you should have done this right, you should have done that right, I wish to see you like this, I wanted to hear this. Everything is fine, but what about that person who already did XYZ together? Yes, you need to boost the confidence of that speaker so that he loves you as an evaluator. He loves Toastmaster because he got that positive boost. Now, what is different in contest? There will be 10 people looking at same points what you are looking at. Judges would be looking at the same point what judges know the speaker did. That is the 15 points on the sheet, which is called as technique. That technique, my friend, will keep you apart from the usual evaluator. Not the bad evaluator, but an evaluator who has done less practices or who have done less analysis or who needs a little more practice on how to evaluate. Okay, so what is that technique we are talking about? All of you guys, have you all watched movie? You guys watch movies, right? When we watch a movie, there will be one movie with 4 reviews. Some people will love it. Oh my God, I just loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Somebody would just hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Somebody will be like, acting was good. I wish there were some XYZ things. Somebody would say something else. So that 4 things is a technique. Always, technique is a thing which will keep you apart from the other evaluator. So coming forward for 7 more days, just work on your technique. I'll tell you what is my technique. I'll share it with you. It's a printout of a paper, okay, which I'm using it for the past 10 years. And I'm ready to share that with you all. That is my technique. The technique goes like this. I will share it in the group. I'm in touch with your coordinator. The The first line is always a quote. By the way, you can plan that quote in advance. You don't have to sit there and then decide on the quote. Okay. The previous day of the contest, just have one common quote which says, which gives some motivation. So you have your opening quote ready. Second, conclude the entire speech and say how it connected to you. It's like, oh, Toastmaster Amrita had a humor speech and I felt so connected, blah, blah, blah. So was that a humor speech? Was that an information speech? Was that a inspiring speech? Or was that, which is the fourth one? So there are 4 categories of speeches, right? So in which format the speech? Yeah, information. So in which format the speech was given to you? How did you like that speech? Okay. Then of course, 2 positive points. 1, what did you see? 1, what did you hear? 1 point of improvement. Then again, 1, what did you hear? 1, what did you see? Now, can you give me the example on what did you see? Put it on the chat box. How do you explain to the speaker? I saw that. How will you explain this in evaluation? I saw that gesture. Okay. But when you mention that gesture, don't just mention, I saw your gesture. Your gesture was fantastic. I really loved that gesture. Which gesture? When did that gesture happen? When exactly in that speech was the gesture? What type of gesture was there? How did you feel it connected? That will give you an edge over the other person who said, I like that gesture. Let's hold on to the gesture and put it on the chat box. What exactly was the gesture? How would you put it to the speaker? Yeah, you're mentioning to the speaker that you like the gesture, but how exactly you like the gesture? I'm waiting for that sentence. I saw a confident speaker is also a good gesture, but what exactly you saw that you thought that it is a confident speaker? Am I the action of eating the pizza with the hands, appropriately put. I saw that speaker who was talking about eating the pizza with hands and the knife. No, I was driving, so I seriously don't know who exactly spoke those, but I was just listening. So probably he would have done that gesture. Was he doing the gesture of eating the pizza? Whoever is, I'm looking at the screen, is not nodding the head. Yes, Amita?
Yes,
He
yes, yes.
see, that is how you pinpoint it. In a similar way, when you're giving a feedback or when you're giving what do you say, a feedback, right? I wish I saw the gesture. You should tell him where exactly the gesture has to be done. So this point of improvement, when you're giving to the person, he did not do it because he did not know it. So you have to tell him that exactly when you're eating the pizza, you should have done this gesture. That would have connected better. Are you guys getting me what I'm trying to say? You have to pinpoint in which part of the speech you wanted him to do certain things. And that is your technique. Okay. I wish there was a humor. Very common line. All the evaluators I've heard saying, I wish there was a humor. I wish there was some line of joke. You are an evaluator. He didn't know how to add the humor. You know how to add the humor. You explain him. When you were talking about your child, I wish you said, naughty, naughty girl. And that would have brought the smile to the audience. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is when you're giving a suggestion, give exact point of reference to the speaker when you're giving the feedback. Okay, so coming back to our technique, we start with the yes, you can unmute and speak.
Positive points.
You
First
start,
point, what you see,
yes, what do you see?
and second point can be what you hear.
What you hear. Okay, and
You
then
need to pinpoint exactly where they can
suggestion.
be using
Yeah,
it.
suggestion. Exactly where, what you need that suggestion. And then again, if you remember the sandwich technique, yeah, again you come back to the positive point. What you saw, what you hear.
What you
Okay.
feel?
What you feel, no. That is opinionated, no? That is your opinion. What you feel means, I feel you should have worn a black dress. I feel you should have worn a cap. So what you feel is opinionated. You understanding, Sridevi?
Ma'am, could we say what we felt about the speech after hearing it? Well, whether we felt moved or like that.
Yeah, that was a second point actually. So we start with the quote, and your second point is, I was inspired, I got information, or I was motivated, I got knowledge, I laughed. So you conclude the entire speech in that little paragraph. Okay, I'll send you that skeleton of how points I have written, and then maybe that will make sense. Okay, then you write about 2 good points, then you give the suggestion, and then you add more good points, and don't forget the conclusion.
Yes.
Okay, and in the conclusion, you don't pinpoint again on what you did the suggestion. On your conclusion, you again say all the 4 good points. So as a speaker, I love the way you added this. I love the way when you did vocal variety. I love the way you just say the 4 good points. And then you end it with a very high note. So there is no good technique or bad technique. But what I'm trying to say here is develop your own technique and stick to it. Like when Naina does the evaluation, this is how she does. She starts with the quote, she compliments the speaker, she does 2 positive, one point of improvement, 2 positives again, and then conclusion. That's my technique. Probably you can start with the technique. You can start with 1 point of improvement. Only 1 point of improvement is this. And then you put all the 4 positives. Because people remember only the positives, right? Negatives, they don't remember. And then you conclude in a bang. So develop your own technique. That is what I'm trying to say. But promise me for the coming 5 evaluations, we are only going to choose the good parts of the speaker and pinpoint exactly why it was a good point and how you were connected to that. Okay. Now quickly for 10 seconds, put it on the chat box. What did you all learn? So that people call me again for the evaluation session. I hope it was helpful and I hope you guys liked it. Give me 30 more seconds timer till the chat box is filled, and then over to you. Okay. Yes, pinpointing. We'll have to start collecting quotes now. Yeah, keep 1 quote as your favorite quote and keep repeating it, or maybe 2, because sometimes you have semi-finals and finals in evaluation, right? So don't use the same quote for semifinals and the evaluation and the finals of evaluation also. All right, thank you so much, and over to the TMOD.
All right, thank you so much. DTM. Man, I think now literally you've given us a cheat code or a hack to go for any competition right now. Like, certainly given me that hack. So I think that's been wonderful. The start of the quote, speak on what you saw, how you felt, give us a. Now everyone is going to go blown away by the evaluation. What's the word? David Isaac, TM David Isaac's evaluation. Like, whoa, what the sudden change? That's perfect over there. Thank you so very much for that. I enjoyed it. Like, my camera was not, but I heard everything, and it was just 10 on 10 evaluation. Now, everyone, we've officially reached the tail end of the session, like the official tail end of it. And could we go back to DTM, the GE, DTM Gayatri Deshmukh over here to give us that until time meeting. I have been your MC, David Isaac. I hope honor this on the 18th of October, 2022. My energy and my energeticness have transferred to you on the middle of the week. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed seeing me as MC, and now hand the power, or the power vested in me, finally 5%, back to the GE over here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, Mr. MC. Your energy is not just transferred. I would like to tell you that your energy is infectious. What I particularly liked about your entire performance was the ease with which you carried yourself, was the ease that you projected every time you were transitioning, every time you were speaking. I don't really have any recommendation for you. But maybe I would like to make the suggestion that your camera is like this, maybe bring it to eye level, and it will feel like we are looking at you rather than looking down upon you. If I may be so humorous. Thank you so much for taking that humor and good spirit.
Of course.
Wonderfully done, David. I love your style. And I was just talking to one of my club members that we must invite him. Excellently done. Moving on to our timer. Timer did a diligent job. I loved the way he conducted himself, especially when he was constantly on the spotlight. It is not easy to be on the spotlight doing nothing. Like the Queen said in the web series, The Crown, sometimes the most difficult thing to do is to do nothing. So wonderfully performed that particular role. Talking about our table topics master. I love the questions. I simply love the questions. And at points, at times, I also felt that she first picked the speaker, and looking at the speaker's face, she decided, okay, now this is going to be the topic for the speaker. So some of the speeches, some of the topics were very well crafted. I especially loved the topic given to Sridevi because it felt as if it was specifically crafted for her. So wonderfully done. Sometimes in a club environment, these kind of table topic sessions can actually help in team building activities, wherein it is a gesture of telling our members that, yes, we know you, we hear you, and we want to know more about you. And members also feel that thing of belongingness, wherein they feel this is a safe place to speak out their minds. So I would love to commend our table topics master for the way she did everything. Wonderfully conducted session. Talking about our table topics evaluator, barring the whole technical glitch, what I would like to commend Toastmaster Chaitanya is about, I love that you heard each and every speech so diligently. You were able to retell the entire story of what the speaker had said, and they were not less number of speakers. So I definitely want to commend you on that. I love that you talked about the structure that each of the speakers followed, and then you made the suggestion as to how that structure could be changed or needed to be changed for that matter. I like that you spoke about proper opening, proper closing for each of the speaker. So all in all, I would say your evaluation was to the point. Only one area of maybe suggestion would be that since it is table topics evaluation, you may want to restrict your evaluation time for each speaker to 45 seconds, because any which way the speeches have happened long back, so people might not have the memory of entire speech and may not be able to connect with what you are saying. So your feedback in terms of structure is the only thing that is going to stay with the audience until the end. So maybe restricting the each table topic evaluation timing. The rest of the session was conducted very smoothly. The president and the entire team was extremely mindful about the timing. We were going overtime. It was constantly being reminded, and on-time changes were made accordingly to make sure that we don't go too overtime in an attempt to stick to the agenda. And that is what we Toastmasters do. Make on-time changes in the agenda as and when required, because that is one of the skills that we learn in Toastmasters, something like crisis management. While I understand that I'm not supposed to be evaluating the education session, but I would really like to commend our education session facilitator, Naina. What I particularly loved about her session was that this was not just a session wherein she was talking about how important evaluation is and what evaluation will do, because she knew that she was going to talk, she was talking about the contest's perspective, and she stuck to the goal. She did not get into the trap of how important evaluation is. She did not fall into the trap of how that evaluation should be helpful for the speaker. She stuck to the point that this is how you have to evaluate for the contest. And sometimes contest evaluations are not always helpful for the speaker, but that is what a contest evaluation should look like. One area wherein I really felt that something that other facilitators could also pick up on, she gave them proper phrases. Yeah, this is what you should say, this is what you should say, and this is something you should never say. So wonderfully conducted session. So all in all, this was one meeting which had a lot of takeaways, a lot of learning, and of course, a lot of opportunities to make the mistakes, learn from those mistakes. And I loved the session. I thoroughly enjoyed the session. And on that note, I would like to hand over the stage back to our MC of the day, David. David.
I'm back.
What do you, David?
Thank you so much for that. I'm sorry, it's been having over there. So that was a lovely session. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed having you on board DTM. And I'm definitely taking up on your offer to come visit your club. I do want to see that, because Toastmasters is always very cool like that. It's fun. So I think that brings us to the tail end, like the final segment, which is the awards. Yay! We're all excited for that. We're all happy for that. We want to know who won. So I want to be sharing my screen right now, and I'm actually enjoying that over here. And Mr. Dinesh, our president, Toastmaster Dinesh, are you there?
Hi, Dinesh is still here.
Of course it is. So I'm going to be sharing my screen right now, and I want you to please do the honors, by the power vested in me, to go give the awards, the certificates.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, my screen.
Okay. In the interest of time, I'm going to just quickly thank everyone, all our guests and all our members for attending the meeting. We shall distribute our certificates to you over the chat group or have them mailed over to you. So first of all, as David has pointed out, let's just hand out the quick certificates. For table topics, it's Toastmaster Sri Devi. Can I have everyone unmute and give a big applause, please?
Yay! Mr. Dinesh, I mean, it.
Murphy's Law, whenever you don't need it. Okay, so for the best evaluator, Toastmaster Sumit, well done. Everyone give a big hand for Toastmaster Sumit. And for the best speaker, Toastmaster Dinesh, thank you so much. Everyone, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So by the power and for the quick certificates, DTM Nana, thank you for a wonderful education session. So many takeaway points. Dr. DTM Gayatri, excellent points. Okay, excellent points in evaluation, a lot to learn. Thank you so much. And with that, I really would like to call this meeting to an end. I recommend and request everyone to give your feedbacks to us over the chat groups or through our role player groups. Thank you so much, and I call this meeting to an end.